Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. We got a great show here for you today. We're going to geek out on economics. We're going to talk employment numbers. If you don't know, employment numbers for Canada and US are released the first Friday of every month. So that was last Friday. It's now Monday, August the 10th. We're going to go through, where we're at, what I kind of see happening. I'm going to show you how I would break it down for your region, where you can go to get that information. And just how I go through it and some of my thoughts and my opinions. So we're going to start with Canadian numbers first. So obviously we had phase 3 come to the majority of Ontario in July. So that obviously increased job numbers. Some of the rest of the provinces had already been, or they had just started at the beginning of July. So that would have increased them as well. So in Canada, we had, and guys, I go to forexfactory.com. I'm going to put the link below, and I go to their calendar. We had 418,500 new jobs created. New people went back to work, right? It's not really new employment. It's just getting back to where we were, and that brought the employment rate down to 10.9% from 12.3%. These are both better than expected. So a 1.4% drop and a $20,000 beat, $20,000 person beat on that employment change. And the other thing is we have U.S. Non-farm payroll. Employment change, it went up 1.763. So 1,763,000, estimated was 1.53. And they went down, their unemployment went down from 11.1 to 10.2. So we're relatively in line. Both of us, people are getting back to work. In Canada, we have CERP, which is ending in September. I think that'll be a big push back to people going back to work and not collecting unemployment. And I mean, at the end of the day, anecdotally, I'm hearing there's jobs out there, people want them. That's the thing. Do people want them right now, or are they just enjoying the summer? In the US, I know that they have a couple of relief bills that they've put out there as well. That have been able to pretty much the same as CERP. People are staying home collecting money and enjoying the summer. February to April, basically 5.5 million Canadian workers were affected by COVID-19 economic shutdown. Included a drop of employment of 3 million for COVID-related increase in absence from work of 2.5. So basically, there was 5.5 million people affected. So again, now we're up 400,000 in July compared to 953,000 in June. We had a big comeback in June. And again, we even had a gain in May of 290,000. So, we're back 1.3 million. So we're down 7% of pre-February level. Now, I don't think we're getting back to pre-February level. Guys, there's a lot of businesses going out of business. Big, small, restructuring, bankruptcies, that type of thing. We went through bankruptcies in a video prior. So, I think we're seeing this really start to come into effect, though. I think we're probably going to see sub 7% unemployment by the end of the year. These are good signs, right? Most of the employment gains in July were part-time work, which is to be expected. Retail, service industries, travel, tourism, these are a lot of the spots that were highly affected, and they're starting to come back. So part-time employment obviously outpaced full-time in the past 3 months, with July gain. Part-time work is now closer to pre-COVID levels, 5% than full-time. So again, we've lost 7.5% full-time employment and 5% part-time. obviously it's easier to bring back part-time workers, and they're still talking about some of their hours being less. So more people working less hours though. I think some of that has to do with CERB. Some people I'm actually hearing that they actually don't want to, they want to make the CERB and collect $1,000 on top that they can work and just, obviously enjoy that summer. Guys, you guys want, I'm not going to read this all to you. You guys, I'm going to put the article or attach it below. Unemployment rate continues to drop, gaps persist. You can talk about some of the different areas that are more affected. Obviously, newer immigrants have been more effective. They're more likely to be in jobs like hospitality, personal support, that type of thing, and those haven't come back as strong as of yet. Obviously, not as many people are traveling, or there's those restrictions haven't eased as much. So we're not seeing that right now. Let's go on we'll do a bit of a around Ontario, around Canada. So employment and census metropolitan area Toronto increased 2.2%. Obviously, it's the same as the province. Toronto makes up probably half of Ontario. So whatever they do, the rest of the province is going to typically come in at. Quebec saw a big increase, 98,000, 2.4%. It's at 94.4 of its pre-COVID level employment, so they're really rapidly getting back to where they were. And obviously they opened up, other than Montreal, much sooner. So I don't know if they're going to see... I don't know if they're going to see that that's going to make a difference. As we said, Montreal didn't open as quickly, and it was only up 1.3. So yeah, it's just, it's taking a little longer for Montreal because, again, they were the same as us. We were a little slower to build up. British Columbia, 70,000, 3%, 93.5 of February employment level. Again, Vancouver's only at 90% of its February level. Alberta is, they saw strong gains, 3.2%. There's unemployment still 12.8%. And, they got double factor. They got COVID, plus they got lower oil prices, which definitely hurt them out there. Same with Saskatchewan, although they did have good increase, 13,000. And you got to remember, like Saskatchewan, the whole employment and their size, they're just not very big, right? So when you talk about those numbers, it made them drop 2.5%, right? So their unemployment rate's actually at 8.8%. And I mean, same with Manitoba is 8.2%. Nova Scotia and the eastern provinces are, they're around 11, 12%, and, they're usually a little higher, but New Brunswick actually, they're at 96.6% of its pre-COVID levels, and, really they're the most complete. I mean, they obviously didn't see as many cases as we saw in Ontario. They did the lockdown. I don't know if they're still letting people in yet. That's pretty strong out there. So if you guys are investing, this is what I look at, right? So I look at places that can hold their jobs, hold their value. So the people that I have who are my tenants are paying me rent at the end of the day, right? And that I look that their wages are increasing, because if their wages are increasing, rents will go up alongside that. So I'm just going to take you to another little table here. This just shows metropolitan area. And there's one thing that I did want to point out. I found this a little funny. So Ottawa-Gatineau is our capital region. So Gatineau is on the Quebec side. And this is for Tony Miller, because I saw he posted this on Facebook. And the unemployment in the Quebec part, it went up substantially. And the employment rate on the French side, or the Quebec side, went down 1.9% from 11 to 9.1%, which is in keeping with Quebec's strong comeback, right? Strong build-up. And actually on the Ontario side, it actually went from 9 to 9.2. So they had gains, but more people came back into the labor force. So their unemployment rate actually went up. And we've seen this in a couple of spots. Peterborough was like that, Oshawa, Toronto was like that as well. St. Catharines went down, Hamilton went down. So, I mean, I'm going to put this all up there. You can guys go through it individually if that's what you want to do. But what I think we're seeing is outside of major centers, we're seeing it happen quicker. I mean, obviously phase 3 only happened in Toronto a week ago, where some of these other locations had happened 2-3 weeks ago. So, people may be more comfortable going to a restaurant, and so they're hiring more people back and that type of thing, right? And guys, and this is just my opinion here. I mean, there's no right or wrong. Yet this is what I look at. So, on the whole, Canada, I think we're doing good. Well, I think there's some strong job numbers coming out. We're beating expectations. We're beating forecasts, and obviously it's in the part-time sector. Yet that's what needs to come back. I mean, that's what a lot of the jobs were lost in, and I think the full-time jobs that are lost, I don't know if they're coming back anytime quickly. Yet again, I would love to see sub 7% by the end of the year. I think that would be great for everybody. And I think we'd all have a very Merry Christmas. On the US side, again, they had a 1.8 million jobs in July. Unemployment rate fell to 10.2%. And, again, I'm going to put this up there so you guys can read through it. I mean, a lot of people were called back from temporary layoffs. I don't know if that's actually included in their number, but they're decreased by 1.3 million to 9.2. So they're on temporary layoffs. So it means they're going back to work. They've just not been called back to work yet. And you got to remember, the U.S. actually calculate their numbers differently than we do in Canada. We calculate our numbers that if people are looking for a job but they have a job, that's calculated somewhat into our employment numbers, where they don't calculate that in the US. So their numbers are always going to be a bit lower than ours. So if theirs is 4 and ours is 6, we're basically on the same level. And again, guys, this is just me geeking out a little bit. I find this stuff fascinating. I'm not going to delve into localities in the US. I mean, there's so many of them, but yet this is what I would do. So if I'm researching Tampa Bay, I would go here and I would look and I would see, okay, how are they recovering from this? Is it slower? Is it fast? Is that going to give me more opportunity or less? Can I go out and now pick something up because they're in a second wave, right? Florida's being hit hard. So this is what I look for. All right. So guys, if you guys like this type of stuff, let me know down below. I mean, I can do a monthly. I mean, job reports come out every month. I don't mind talking about them. I mean, I'm watching them anyways. This is some of the stuff I love to look at. Let me know in the comments down below if this should be a regular feature, if you want me to talk about them every month and give you my thoughts, and just do a bit of a breakdown. Anyways, if you guys like this one, definitely subscribe. We're up to, let me know who's going to be the 800th subscriber. We're at 799 right now, and we're getting close to that goal of 1,000. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm.